The architect's vision. April Chen stood at the window of her apartment, assessing the area where her most ambitious project would arise. As lead architect for the city's new art district, she had to appear confident, though apparently, some community members were already arguing against the development. She wouldn't apologize for her artistic vision. The architecture would transform this neglected neighborhood into something extraordinary. Her phone buzzed with another app notification. The application for final approval was due today, and she needed to arrange a meeting with the city council. She appreciated that they were trying to be thorough, but the approval process was taking approximately twice as long as usual. Around her desk lay scattered articles about urban renewal, along with countless architectural drawings. An assistant knocked on her door. "Ms. Chen, your appointment with the community association is in an hour." "Thank you," April replied, attempting to organize the chaos of papers. She would have to approach this meeting carefully. The atmosphere was already tense after arguments arose at the last public forum. Some residents assumed the development would force them apart from their community, though that wasn't her intention at all. She arrived at the community center 15 minutes early, attaching her presentation materials to the wall. The arrival of the association members was marked by an uncomfortable silence. Mr. Armstrong, their spokesperson, had his arms crossed. His body language suggested this wouldn't be easy. "Let me assist you in understanding our vision," April began, gesturing to the artificial rendering of the proposed arts district. "The area will retain its historic character while providing space for local artists. We've arranged for affordable artist apartments and studios." "And what about the existing residents?" Armstrong asked. "We're not ashamed to say we're concerned about being pushed out." April had anticipated this argument. "I want to assess your concerns properly. Our associated development company has made arrangements to ensure current residents can stay. In fact, they'll have first choice of the new apartments." She clicked to the next slide, showing various aspects of the design. "We've attempted to preserve everything that makes this neighborhood special. The atmosphere will be enhanced, not destroyed." As she spoke, she could see some members begin to approve of the vision. The artistic elements seemed to appeal to them. The public art spaces, the areas around the buildings designed for community gathering. "What about security?" someone asked. "The area isn't exactly safe at night." April nodded. "We've worked with law enforcement to ensure the district will be properly monitored, though not in an overwhelming way. We don't want armed guards everywhere, just appropriate security measures." The meeting continued for 2 hours. April's assignment had seemed simple when she first took it. Design a modern arts district that would attract new investment while preserving community character. But like any significant urban project, it had become far more complex. Afterward, as she walked anywhere her feet would take her, April reflected on the meeting. Her firm would need to adjust some aspects of the plan, but the core vision remained intact. She stopped at a small cafe, ordered an apple pie, and opened her laptop to make notes while the memories were fresh. A young artist approached her table, having recognized her from community meetings. "Ms. Chen, I just wanted to say I support your project. We desperately need affordable studio space." April smiled, appreciating the unexpected encouragement. She pulled out a chair. "Please, join me. I'd love to hear your thoughts." As they talked, April began to see new possibilities. Perhaps she could incorporate more input from local artists into the design. The atmosphere of the district would benefit from their perspective. She made notes in her project management app, already envisioning the changes. That evening, back in her apartment, April reviewed the day's events. The assignment was challenging her in ways she hadn't expected. It wasn't just about architecture anymore. It was about helping a community arise from decades of neglect while preserving its soul. She worked late into the night, modifying designs, adding notes, and preparing for her next presentation. Around midnight, she finally fell asleep at her desk, drawings scattered around her like fallen leaves. The next few weeks were a blur of meetings, presentations, and revisions. April had to appear before various committees, each requiring different aspects of the project to be explained and justified. The artificial renderings grew more detailed, incorporating feedback from each session. One morning, as she prepared for another presentation, news broke that would change everything. A famous artist collective had announced their interest in becoming anchor tenants in the new district. Their arrival would virtually guarantee the project's success. The announcement created a buzz throughout the city. Articles appeared in major publications, analyzing the potential impact. The Artist Collective's association with the project seemed to silence many critics. Even Mr. Armstrong called to arrange a meeting to discuss how his community organization could be more involved. April's firm was ecstatic. The partners attempted to take her to dinner to celebrate, but she was too busy incorporating new ideas into the design. She appreciated their gesture but asked for a rain check. There would be time to celebrate later. As spring turned to summer, the project continued to evolve. April worked closely with community members, artists, and city planners. She would often work until she was practically asleep at her desk, then drag herself home to her apartment for a few hours of rest before starting again. The final approval process was grueling. Every aspect of the design was assessed, from environmental impact to traffic patterns. April had to appear before the city council multiple times, arguing for various elements of the plan. But finally, after what seemed like endless attempts to satisfy all stakeholders, the project was approved. Construction would begin in the fall. April stood at the future site, watching the sun rise over the area that would soon be transformed. An elderly resident approached her, leaning on a walking stick. "My arms aren't what they used to be," the woman said, "but I still love to paint. Will there really be a place for someone like me in your new arts district?" April smiled, gesturing to the buildings around them. "This project isn't about replacing what's here, it's about helping it grow. There will be space for everyone who wants to create." The woman nodded, apparently satisfied. As she walked away, April felt a renewed sense of purpose. This wasn't just an assignment anymore, it was a chance to prove that development could serve both progress and preservation. Over the next year, April watched her vision arise from the ground. The architecture took shape exactly as she had planned, yet somehow it looked even better in reality than in her artificial renderings. The atmosphere of excitement grew as each building neared completion. Artists began to move in, bringing life to the spaces she had designed. The community association, now fully supportive, arranged a series of events to welcome new residents while celebrating longtime community members. April attended each one, watching with pride as people from all walks of life mixed and mingled in the spaces she had created. The project won several architectural awards, but April found more satisfaction in the small signs of success: children playing in the public spaces, elderly residents chatting on the benches she had designed, artists working in their affordable studios. No one had been forced to move away. Instead, the community had grown stronger together. 5 years later, April still lived in her apartment overlooking the district. She had received numerous offers to design similar projects in other cities, but she had decided to stay. She wanted to remain connected to this place she had helped create, to assist in its continued evolution. One evening, while walking through the district, she overheard a teenager giving a tour to out-of-town friends. "An architect named April Chen designed all this," the teen was saying. "She figured out how to make it amazing without destroying what was already here." April smiled to herself and continued walking. The buildings around her were more than just architecture now, they were home to a thriving community. As she walked, she began to think about new possibilities, new ways to help the district evolve. After all, the best designs were never truly finished, they just kept growing, changing, and improving, just like the communities they served. Looking back, she realized that what had seemed like an overwhelming assignment had become her life's most meaningful work. The project had taught her that good architecture wasn't just about designing buildings, it was about creating spaces where communities could flourish and grow stronger together. As the sun set over the district, casting long shadows between the buildings she had designed, April felt a deep sense of satisfaction. She had helped create something that would outlast her, something that would continue to serve and inspire future generations. Here is a recap of 100 vocabulary words from the architect's vision. Architect, a professional who designs buildings. Project, a planned piece of work with a goal. Development, the process of improving an area. Design, a plan or drawing for a building. Construction, the process of building structures. Urban, related to cities or towns. Renewal, the act of improving or rebuilding. Blueprint, a technical plan for construction. Rendering, a visual representation of a design. Infrastructure, essential structures like roads and utilities. Preservation, maintaining the original condition. Transformation, a complete change in appearance or function. Vision, a creative plan for the future. Revitalization, bringing new life to an area. Landmark, a significant or historic building. Zoning, rules about land use and building placement. Facade, the front or outer appearance of a building. Structural, related to the framework of a building. Framework, the basic supporting structure. Aesthetic, related to beauty or artistic style. Community, a group of people in a shared space. Residents, people who live in an area. Public forum, a meeting for discussing local issues. Association, a group formed for a common purpose. Spokesperson, a representative who speaks for a group. Engagement, active participation or involvement. Feedback, responses or opinions on a project. Collaboration, working together towards a goal. Outreach, efforts to connect with a community. Advocacy, public support for a cause or policy. Consultation, seeking expert or community advice. Criticism, expressing concerns or disapproval. Approval, official permission to proceed. Opposition, resistance to an idea or project. Dialogue, discussion between different parties. Stakeholders, people affected by or invested in a project. Inclusivity, ensuring all people are considered. Compromise, a solution that balances different viewpoints. Consensus, general agreement. Skepticism, doubt or hesitation about a plan. Strategy, a carefully planned action. Proposal, a detailed plan for approval. Revision, changes or improvements to a plan. Modification, adjustments made to improve a design. Obstacles, challenges or difficulties. Negotiation, discussion to reach an agreement. Assessment, evaluating a situation or project. Implementation, putting a plan into action. Optimization, making something as effective as possible. Coordination, organizing different parts to work together. Analysis, a detailed examination of a subject. Execution, carrying out a plan successfully. Iteration, repeating a process to improve it. Evaluation, measuring success or effectiveness. Feasibility, the practicality of a project. Logistics, managing details of a complex operation. Scalability, ability to expand without losing quality. Metrics, standards for measuring progress. Timeframe, the expected duration of a project. Alignment, ensuring all elements work towards the same goal. Artist, a person who creates visual or performance art. Studio, a workspace for artists. Public space, areas open for community use. Exhibition, a display of artistic work. Inspiration, creative motivation. Composition, the arrangement of elements in a design. Sculpture, a three-dimensional artistic form. Mural, a large painting on a wall. Innovation, the introduction of new ideas. Expression, communicating ideas through art or design. Symbolism, using images or objects to represent ideas. Heritage, traditions passed down over time. Cultural identity, the shared characteristics of a community. Interpretation, the way something is understood. Perspective, a point of view or artistic technique. Abstract, art that does not represent reality directly. Curator, someone who organizes art exhibits. Conceptual, based on ideas rather than physical forms. Installation, a large, immersive art piece. Aspirational, encouraging ambition or higher goals. Ambition, a strong desire to succeed. Determination, persistence in achieving a goal. Commitment, dedication to a cause or project. Resilience, the ability to recover from challenges. Adaptability, flexibility in adjusting to changes. Innovation, finding new and better solutions. Hard work, consistent effort towards a goal. Productivity, efficiently creating work. Satisfaction, a feeling of accomplishment. Legacy, something meaningful left behind. Recognition, being acknowledged for one's work. Self-reflection, thinking about one's experiences and growth. Confidence, belief in one's abilities. Persistence, continuing despite difficulties. Creativity, the ability to generate new ideas. Leadership, guiding and inspiring others. Mentorship, advising and supporting others. Balance, managing multiple responsibilities effectively. Passion, deep enthusiasm for a subject. Fulfillment, a sense of purpose and accomplishment.